My name is Vinnie Morgan. I'm the founder of BookingLive. BookingLive is a company that has two amazing products. One that serves the enterprise, clients within the UK, public sector, NHS, Transport for London, Microsoft, some big names are using the software. On the other end of the spectrum, we serve a lot of SMEs. We've got over 700 SMEs across 50 countries. Both of them essentially do the same thing, which is using our software to sell availability online, booking into events, courses, activities, etc. Anything you book onto online, you could use BookingLive. My role as CEO, I tend to support the wider team, the C-level staff achieving what those company goals are. So right from the board and exactly what we want to achieve in the next 5 years, I help support the wider team to achieve that, feedback to the board and the other stakeholders, the investors, etc. Make sure that we're on track and achieving the goals that we set. So there's a lot of barriers, and it's different with every investor. You wouldn't believe if you meet one investor, they need a 10 times return within a set period. You meet another investor, they want a tech differentiator within the space. So it's really difficult, and you've got to try and angle your pitch and differentiate for each single investor that you meet. Currently in the UK space, certainly in the southwest as well, there's a real sort of drown of resource on tech development and that kind of amazing culture and resource that we have within London and Silicon Valley, etc. There's a big drain on resource in the southwest, so that's a big gap that needs to be filled, and we really need to retain and attract talent into the southwest. At BookingLive, we raised our first investment 3 years ago. A great private equity fund, Summit Group, they invested 300,000 along Creative England in order for us to deliver a freemium product. That was the promise, and we hit that. About 9 months ago, we launched the freemium product. We've just raised another round, 1.25 million from 2 VCs, and the game has changed. No longer are we trying to raise funds to launch a freemium product, but now we're really focused on revenues and driving annual recurring revenue. So we've got an aggressive target to meet in the next 5 years. So things change in just a short space of time, but that's where we're at currently. So the finance ecosystem in the west of England in particular is thriving, and it's getting better. If you look at the government in terms of their SME agenda, they are telling councils and telling their portfolio of clients to spend money outside of the London region. That's great for us as small SMEs outside of London, of course. If you look at finance backers, VCs, etc., they also have criteria to invest outside of London. So if you look at Bristol and Bath and the rest of the tech hubs outside of London, there are opportunities there, and we've really got to maximise what those are. Personally, as a business founder, networking is so important. I've got a real close network with Tech Nation Upskill. This is a program that is nationwide. Again, they have some of a focus outside of the London region, really to bring tech companies together and help them. The name is in the game. It's called the Upskill program, and it really does help tech companies upskill from where they're at. So I'm one of those fledgling 2019 class members and get so much value from that. If I look at elsewhere in the business, we have our CTO, Andy Gale. He runs the PHP Southwest. It's a PHP driven Southwest network event. So throughout the business, we've got everything from a national through to a local networking, and it adds so much value to us, but also what we give back to the network as well. So if there was one thing I was going to say for any tech startup, and this is true, you know, from the 60s to where we're at now, and probably for the next 60 years, cash is king. Getting that financing, getting that bill paid on day one or as close to day one as possible is so important. I've learned from my experience. I had to sell, or you could say lost a business as a result of having some big, bad, large age debt. That'll never happen again, it never has. And now my business is thriving as a result. So if anything I could say, make sure you get that invoice out before you start the work, get that cash in, be proud of it, make sure that you stick to your billing terms and you don't change at any time, and then you'll be successful.